Hello everyone. So I kind of last minute, within 30 minutes of sunset, decided to change my mind where I was going to be shooting, and I decided to drive about 30 minutes across from the other location that I was at because it was just too windy and too choppy, and I made it to another location that I've had my eye on. This dock in particular that I really want to shoot on happens to be free tonight because the fishermen aren't out, and so I just thought, I was like, you know what, I'll just take the chance, and if I don't make this image today, I can always come back another day. So I took a chance and no one is here. The sunset is absolutely explosive right now. However, I'm not here to shoot the sunset. I'm actually hoping to capture what happens after sunset. So that nice blue hour and all of those sort of dark, cool colors, because I plan on using that lantern that I was talking about before. The water is still a little bit too choppy for my likings, but that's all right. I'll deal with it because, as always, I'll do a long exposure to smooth it out, but it does make the dock a little bit rickety, so it's moving. So I'm probably going to have to do multiple exposures and blend them all together to make sure that the dock is pin sharp and not blurry around the edges, because that's usually what happens with docks and waters. The edges slightly get a little bit blurry. As you can see, the light is gorgeous right now. It's painting my face. It's actually really warm. I can feel the warmth coming from the light. It's really, really nice. And Ollie is actually enjoying this location a bit better than the last one that we're at, I think because it's new and he just kind of gets to sniff around and see what's going on. There's an apple tree right in the middle, and that leads me to believe that probably bears come down here. This place is actually called Bears Point after all, so it makes sense because of that apple tree. However, I think those bears should be getting ready for hibernation soon, so hopefully one does not make an appearance. The location that I'm at is I think a local hotspot to the little community that I live in. It's tiny, the place that I live in. It's actually outside of Salmon Arm, and it's just people who have, I think, lived here their whole lives, deep-rooted families in this location. And I was driving past here last night, and there were so many fishermen out here, and they were camping still. So yeah, seems to be a pretty popular spot for the locals that live in this area. Thankfully, I have it to myself tonight. Oh, I am going to painfully get changed into my dress. It is now chilly out, so doing the self-portraits in these months is not always enjoyable, but I still love doing them, and I have a really great idea for this shot. So I am all set up now. Behind me, I got my camera here, got my yellow dress on. I'm just about to change. And I also have my lantern that I am going to be shooting with. Really excited to use this. I'm excited to see how it turns out. I have no idea. Hopefully this works. I definitely have a vision in my mind. I am shooting on my Canon 5D Mark IV. I'm going to use my 16 to 35 for this shot. I have it at, I think, 35 right now. I have to check back. I have it at 35 mil. That seems to be a pretty good focal length. And then I'm actually, after this, I'm going to shoot the sky at 16 because I just like to make sure that I have enough sky if I need it. Let's say if it was really an interesting sky, then I will blend focal lengths together. But other than that, the 16 to 35 seems like it's going to work great for this shot, and I'm going to get changed and start shooting. So I am all finished shooting now. I actually think that worked out a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't really know where to place the lantern. I have a few more ideas with this sort of shot and the dock that I'm going to return to when I have more time, but it's really actually hard to, in these old lanterns, I know on the camera it looks like it's really brightly lit, but it's not. And you really do have to wait until it's dark to pull these sorts of shots off. I just kind of put these little twinkly lights in it, and I hope to find something else that works better for that. But other than that, I think I get a pretty good shot. I definitely waited until after all the color was gone, so the sky was really blue and the water was this really nice blue, but I definitely want to come back again soon and play around here. So I think there's a lot of potential with a lantern and a dress selfie. Anyways, it is getting now a little bit too dark out, so I'm going to have to head back to the vehicle. Luckily, my vehicle is really close by. I can just drive right up to the spot. How nice is that? And me and Ollie are going to go back to the house and make some supper, because in Canada, with our daylight savings times, guess what? It's dark out by 4 p.m. That is the life. It really, really sucks. So, if you guys really enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give it a like. And without further ado, let's get into the image that I shot today. Here is the final image that I created from this sunset shoot, or I shouldn't say sunset shoot, I should say just after sunset. So I actually have quite a bit to say about this one. I really like the idea. I love the concept. I love the pose. I love the lantern. I had a lot of fun playing around with that. I do like the location. However, I'm not sure if you notice, but this has now become a composite, and I actually, the way that the dock was facing, it faced directly to the mountains on the right hand side of the frame, and it didn't have that nice V shape of the mountains because that was more over to the left. So what I did was I just basically moved over from the horizon line. I moved it over and made the V the center of the frame. So this is a composite. So one way that I think I could avoid doing this is I can still shoot here, still do the same idea, but it would probably work better if there was fog like wrapped around the mountains so that you wouldn't be able to see the off shape of the actual original scene. So that's one thing, is that I could definitely reshoot this in more misty and foggy conditions. I think that would really change things up. My second thing is that I feel like this may be a little bit too wide. I did already crop in a lot, so the original shot before, even shooting at 35 mil, was quite wide. I love the colors going on. I love the yellow with all of the blue. I definitely love the lantern. The little twinkly lights ended up working out great, and they gave off a lot of light, so I was really happy about that. In this particular image, I'm actually not as sharp as I could be, so I messed up there. My skin is a little bit too noisy with just regular noise and color noise, so I definitely want to work more on that. I did have a slower shutter speed for when I was just shooting myself, so I think that kind of didn't help me out a little bit. I didn't end up having to do any long exposures with filters for this. I just shot with nothing on the front of the camera because it was so dark that when I would just take a regular shot, it already was long enough to just sort of smooth out the water. But I kind of am kicking myself a little bit and wish that I did end up doing a long exposure with, say, a 6-stop or a 10-stop, because I would prefer to have more streaky clouds. Other than those things, I actually really do like this image. I'm not too fond of how far up the slit goes on my dress. I went a little bit overkill when I cut that and made it up a little bit too high, but I do like showing the leg in the images because I think that it makes you look like you have a more longer and elegant body versus not showing any leg. So I definitely am happy with the pose and definitely happy with the idea. I just think it could be executed a little bit better. Anyways, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I kind of threw it together on the fly. I honestly didn't really have a plan other than I knew I wanted to create an image like this, but it actually turned out well how I filmed the video. I actually really like it, and I learned a few new editing things along the way. So I do want to mention, this is especially for people who live near me and in Salmon Arm and the canoe area. I have a sale right now on 6 prints. This is pretty much the first time ever that I've ever done this. I'm selling 8x10 prints. They are $30 each. It's a collection that I have picked out, and if you live in the Salmon Arm and canoe area, you get delivery straight to your door of these prints. I have this sale going on until December 15th, and for people who don't live in the same area as me, shipping is available. So I can ship these prints to you, and $5 from every single sale of these prints goes towards my local SPCA, which, if you don't know what that is, that's like an animal shelter with lots of dogs and kitties that don't have homes. So definitely want to help them out this year, get some food for all the animals. We'll just say that Ollie picked the charity that we're going to donate to this year. Anyways, if you do want to print, I am going to show you each one that is available. They're all 8x10. There's no changing the sizes on these prints. It is what it is. And if you are interested in this, just go to my website, send me a message, or leave me a comment here, wherever. I know you guys know where to find me. Instagram, Facebook, or on here. Anyways, please like this video. It definitely helps me out. And please subscribe if you haven't already. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!